All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. All right, hope everybody's having a great Monday. Well, maybe if you're Doug Peterson, you're not having that good of a Monday. So the Philadelphia Eagles had decided to move on from head coach Doug Peterson. Now I'm not gonna act like I actually at one point I thought Doug Peterson was a heck of a coach. It just something went left. I don't know if it was the relationship between him and Carson Wentz that just decided to it just went off the rockers, and they had to make a decision. If that was the case, then Doug Peterson being fired was probably the most financial savvy situation. That's one way to look at it, because you got so many resources tied up in Carson Wentz just to let him walk out the door or not get services from him behind his, he's a high draft pick. You traded for him. You gave him a big contract. You want some return for that investment. It is what it is. And yeah, he had that one MVP caliber season before his injury, and it just felt like after that he's never been the same. Now you wonder, is it Doug Peterson? Is it the organization? Is it Carson Wentz? Because me as a human being, I don't see how I'm gonna be 100% okay with my teammates building a shrine for the guy that replaced me and took you to the Super Bowl. I get it. Nick Foles came in and do his thing. Maybe if Chicago would have brought him in the playoff game, they'll still been in the playoff, because that guy he turned it on when it was needed most. But it never felt like the team really wrapped their mind around Carson Wentz. And the Eagles, as a franchise, found themselves in a tough position because, hey, we're either going to keep this guy, or we're either going to and let Peterson walk, or let him walk, take the financial hit and the loss in investment and keep Peterson. This is very interesting because I felt like the Eagles kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. He did bring the franchise their only Super Bowl. He was an intricate part in that. He was a very intricate part in bringing them their only Super Bowl. But it felt like after that, it just never got back to that level within the team. And then, it was rumors said that the team had like this long Super Bowl hangover. I don't know how true it is. Yeah, I'm a Cowboy fan, but I ain't finna just come on here bashing the Eagles. Because I think that could have been an issue. Like, not really, coming off of that high. It reported that at practice players were saying this. Doug Peterson, I'm going to be honest, Doug Peterson always seemed to have this ego, for lack of better terms, of I'm that guy. I'm, whether that's right or wrong. And after winning the Super Bowl, you deserve to feel like you're that guy. You're Super Bowl champ. You took a team that never had a Super Bowl ring and got them their first Super Bowl in their franchise history. So, innately, you're going to stick your chest out a little bit. I'm that guy, right? I think ultimately that kind of, that may have played a part in him, getting a little bit of the big head. Also, but it's another level to this, because you got to ask yourself, how much help did the organization give Doug Peterson? A lot of time when you look at it, it's like the coach, yeah. And I'm going to be honest, I got to say this. How much help did the training staff get? It's like the Eagles was being decimated. It was like year after year after year, they're just decimated with injuries. I'd have fired the whole training staff first before I even decided to fire Doug Peterson. I would have got rid of the training. There's something about that. They cannot stay healthy. I don't know if it's practices that are hard. I mean, that is not replicating games, or maybe the training, the conditioning. It's something, because when you look at the Eagles, every year it's a slew of injuries. Like, yeah, the Cowboys had their slew of injuries this year. But even the year before that, they had, they got it. Okay, Tyron Smith put him on injury. You can put him on injury for next year already, if he's still there. Tyron Smith is a guy that stays injured a lot. Sean Lee. But for the Eagles, it was like year after year, it was just injury after injury after injury. So maybe this time that the Eagles, now the real question is, where do they go from here? Is it a rebuild You know, are they saying we're gonna tear this thing down and start over? Or are they saying Doug Peterson's the problem? Let's get somebody in here that can work with Carson Wentz, because I don't feel like this organization is giving up on Carson Wentz yet. You bring somebody in that can work with Carson Wentz and say, all right, what's going wrong here? Is it just that relationship is so fractured between him and head coach that he's just off his rocker? Or is it his mechanics, or is his mental? A lot of time when it comes to these quarterbacks, we don't think about the mental part of what they're going through. Like I go back to the Nick Foles thing. When Nick Foles was shrined by his teammates, when people talking about giving him a statue, and I get it. The guy brought you your first Super Bowl. He gonna always be in Eagles on their pedestal. He brought them their first Super Bowl, right? I get that part, 100%. But what I'm saying is, when you do that and he's no longer even there, or you got another guy that's playing in the original starter come back, and all you hear about is the love for Nick Foles, that innately feel like they don't want me here. Maybe, and I'm throwing this out, maybe it's time for them to move on from him. You know, I don't know. What I will say is, though, the Eagles had to make a tough decision here. You can't keep them both. If this thing ain't working, you couldn't keep Doug Peterson and you couldn't keep Carson Wentz. Obviously, Doug Peterson was the easier decision, even though he, in my opinion, he's a heck of a coach. But just something went awry. Now, with Carson Wentz, now you need the next coach that come in got to decide. Is Carson Wentz our guy or is it Jalen Hurts? Is Carson Wentz our guy or is it Jalen Hurts? And this is bringing a new coach in do give Wentz the opportunity to try to, compete. That's most likely what's going to happen. We'll have an open competition in camp. The best quarterback is going to win. Honestly, Wentz got a little leg up on Hurts because of the resources, the money, the contract. So it's going to be the head coach going to come in and say we got an open competition. And then the open competition happened, and if Wentz, if it's even close, Wentz gonna get the nod just because of all the resources. Now, it was rumored that Wentz didn't want to be a backup. Wentz had said, pretty much trade me. Well, if that's the case, and he's still keeping that mentality even after the firing of Doug Peterson, then you got to go and say, all right. So what do we do? Because if he's there and he's not, and he don't want to be there, now you have a counselor in your locker room. So the Eagles, they got their work cut out for them. Doug Peterson is no longer there, so now they got to deal with the Carson Wentz thing, and maybe Peterson solved the Carson Wentz issue. Maybe he did. Stay tuned, guys. Y'all know when it comes out. I'll be right here to bring it to you. With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, you guys be great.